Hey, you guys, this is the first podcast for West Culture, and I got an amazing buddy here, Rene Sandoval. And I remember I got kicked off of TikTok, and he was the first one I was talking to about it. And I said, dude, let's do a podcast. And I'm like, tell you what, you're going to be the first freaking guest on my show. So fast forward, here we are. And we're going to get to Renee in just a second. Hey, I want to do a quick shout out to all you Latino construction workers out there. I just want to say thank you for your hard work. I saw like 5 of you up on the roof in San Miguel putting on metal roofing. It was like 12 o'clock. There was 5 or 6 of you up there. I wanted to yell out my window and say, "A huevo!" But man, shout out to all you guys out there. We appreciate your work, and we see it, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So God bless you guys, and keep doing it. But Renee, you want to introduce yourself, brother?
Yes, sir. My name is Rene Sandoval. I'm a longtime local here of the Central Coast. I was born and raised here. I was born in San Luis and raised on the Hurst Ranch. My childhood up to about 16 years old, and then moved to Paso, Robles. Been here since 1996 about. And
right on.
Yeah, I was a direct imported product from Mexico. My mom was pregnant with me when they immigrated to this country, and I'm proud that they made took the step to leave everything they knew behind and venture to something that was unknown, and try to make a better life for my siblings and myself. I'm the youngest of 6, so my mom was pregnant with me when she came, and born here.
That's awesome, brother. I'm stoked you're here, dude. Matter of fact, I forgot to throw this out there. This is your sweater.
Awesome.
I don't know where I'll put it right there. Little West Culture sweater with the Serape flag. And this is, I'm going to do a little merch handout. So I guess, what should we do? Like, I mean, if we're lucky, we get 50 comments. Say the 50th comment gets a free sweater.
Yeah, sounds good.
How about that? 50th comment on the podcast gets a free sweater. You can either have the Serape or the traditional Mexican bandera, or the there's more of a Chicano style with the old English. So you could choose whatever one you want. How about that?
I apprate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, brother.
Wear that for sure.
Yeah. If it doesn't fit, let me know.
We'll make it.
We'll make it
work.
Probably. Right on. So that was going to be my first question to you. Is, I remember you mentioned to me you grew up in Cambria.
Yeah.
And so what was the Mexican culture like back then? Because I moved up in 96. So I missed a lot.
Yes.
And, I have no idea how it would work in Cambria. It seems interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, we us as Latinos, as Mexicans, we follow the work. And Cambria just happened to be this little niche town that had, catered to tourism. And of course, there's hotels, restaurants, and
so that was alive all back then too. I mean, all those on Moonstone Drive hotels, that's been going on. That's not like a
that's been going on since probably the late 70s, mid 70s, and up. And so it's always catered to the retired community. It was a big retirement community back then, and it's kind of shifted a little bit. Still a big retirement community, but they've also catered to a lot of the Airbnb. We got discovered, basically through COVID. It was big in itself back then, but COVID really put a limelight on Cambria and the Central Coast and in general, just because all the beaches and everything down south and up north in the Bay Area were closed. They were really strict, but Cambria was more laxed. So when people would come up and post, on social media where they were at, or just like shots of the beach, and nobody was enforcing anything, or like, hassling them, people were curious, and they're like, oh, where's that? Oh, it's Cambria. So then we had a huge influx of tourism during COVID. There was all the hotels and the restaurants were,
dude, I'm so narrow-minded. Like, my mind's always thinking like Paso, like, oh yeah, COVID, everyone's coming to Paso, but like, hey, wake up, Dustin, you got people in Cambria, Morbe, everywhere.
Yeah, so, well, the main thing was you wanted to be away from the crowds. Yeah. So, I mean, you still go to Cambria, and the beaches, for the most part, there was people there, but, there's plenty of beach to go around, and everybody kind of kept their distances. Then you couldn't find
a parking spot, I'm sure. All the little free spots that you could park in front, I'm sure they were slammed with vans and stuff. People probably living there, I would imagine, for a while.
Yeah, for a long time. I mean, I know we were going fishing every day. We'd go up by Ragged Point and go almost every day from Paso there and just spend our days out there, just, because it allowed it.
So I remember you told me a while ago, you were talking about some type of, either it was an old hotel or it was some facility where a lot of you lived. And you said the cheeseman was amazing because you were all stacked on top of each other. Was that a hotel?
Yeah,
or how are you? What year was that, by the way?
Well, part of that hotel converted probably in the, I probably want to say about the early 2000s.
Okay.
So it's right there in San Simeon. It's on the little main drag behind the strip of hotels on the right-hand side as you're going northbound.
Gotcha.
It was a section of the hotel that was separated from the main set of rooms. And they kind of sat abandoned for a while when the tourism kind of slowed down for a while and those rooms weren't being used. So the gentleman that leased that hotel approached the owner about selling off that chunk of about 60 rooms.
Oh, 60 rooms.
Yeah,
okay.
60 rooms. And he ended up converting them into studios.
Gotcha.
And then that's where a lot of the Latino community, because there's hardly any low-income housing in Cambria. There's a few apartments in Cambria, but as far as San Simeon, there isn't. So, we're there to work.
And what was it, just a one bedroom
It's like a converted hotel room.
And so it was packed.
Yeah, everything's.
And they all worked pretty much in Morro Bay, Cambria, San Simeon area.
Yeah, Cambria, San Simeon, pretty much all the hotels and restaurants. And
Gotcha.
As it goes, a lot of these families have grown up generationally working. Because their parents worked there, and then the kids got older. They started bussing tables and waiting tables.
Sure.
And then now,
did you live there?
We lived in San Simeon.
You lived in San Simeon, but you knew everyone that lived in
Everybody,
that. Oh,
yeah.
okay, gotcha.
Because most of the people that lived there at the time in those years, in the late 80s, early 80s to the 2000s, we were all from the same towns in Michoacan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
We were mostly from Buena Vista, La Ruana, San Jose Piedras Blancas, which is the little village where I'm from, and then Tepalcatepec, which is another bigger town that's about 15 minutes away.
Gotcha.
So they're all in the same general vicinity of each other.
And everyone just migrated to Cambria?
Yeah, because we all knew each other. We were all related somehow.
Yeah.
Or one family, there was a big family of, the same last name, and they brought more people. So it's like they heard that there was work, so people would immigrate from Mexico.
Right.
And they would have a job the next day.
Like all the San Juan Nuevo people are in San Miguel
and Paso. Exactly. Yeah, that's, when I moved here to Paso. And
I get it though, it's like, hey, you're from my town. I want to be where you're at, and how did that community started, and then what was it like in that complex? I mean, everyone gets off at 5:00. You're driving by. Is everyone outside? Cooking, hanging out?
It kind of depends.
You have to be friends, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It
Gotcha.
kind of depends because everybody's on different shifts, kind of deal. But there would be the groups that are off about the same time, so they congregate. There's some basketball courts there, and there's little, people would bring out their barbecue grills, and there's music blasting over here. It's like a little vecindad del Chavo, you know what I mean? But
gotcha.
We never lived in that little neighborhood. We lived at the pier on the Hurst Ranch.
Okay, so you were actually on the Hurst Ranch.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That's where we lived. But we'd get dropped off by the bus there, and I'd hang out with my friends till my parents. My mom and my dad, they were always, had two jobs, and they would hustle. My mom actually would hustle women's undergarments and baby clothes out of the trunk of the car. So she would go down to Santa Maria or LA and buy bulk clothes, bras and underwear that a lot of Latina ladies couldn't find around here, the styles that they used from Mexico.
Sure.
So she would go buy them there and then just drive around and had a little honor system with the ladies of the town. So my mom got all the gossip and chisme from all the households. And I would hang out with my friends. I can only
imagine when you got 60 freaking rooms. That's 60 families. It's not like single people are living there. There's families living in there. And they're making it happen. Mm-hmm. Wow. Do you still have contact with a lot of those people that were there?
My sister actually and her husband manage that apartment complex.
No way.
Yeah.
What a trip.
Her husband's been working for the owners for like 30-something years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
now, you were mentioning Michoacan.
Mm-hmm.
So this gentleman had the opportunity to go down. He actually just got back and he worked today.
Yes,
so
sir.
When did you fly in and when did you work? You got to be beat, bro.
Yeah.
I should have brought you a Monster instead of a Modelo,
no,
dude.
I'm good. I had plenty in Michoacan, I can tell you that much. I got my energy. I flew in last night at 9 p.m. in Fresno. By the time I got off the plane, got our stuff. My brother and my sister-in-law and my aunt came back with me.
Okay.
So I went and picked up my little Honda Civic. We packed in all the suitcases. How we were like dominoes in there.
Yeah.
And we left Fresno around 10. And
So you go Fresno to Morelia?
I actually flew to Guadalajara this time.
Oh, you did?
Because I
Okay.
wasn't intending to stay for 2 weeks. I went originally
because you
for 6
extended
days.
your stay. Yeah, that's
And
right.
my family down there, since I hadn't been there in 8 years, they're like, "Hey, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this." I'm like, "I'm only here till Tuesday, man." I'm like, I got there on a Wednesday, and
So what, did you just call work and be like, "Hey guys, can I just take some more vacation time?"
Yeah, you know,
That's cool. And you work for Caltrans.
I work for the state, yeah. So I was able to just. I
Good for
texted my
you.
boss and said, "Hey, man, I'm thinking of extending my trip another week. Is there any problems, any issues?" I just wanted to know. I knew that there aren't any issues because I can take my time whenever I'd like to, you know. But I don't want to just, you know, not show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I let him know, and he said, "No, man, go ahead, no problem."
You don't want to not have a job.
Hey, so
what was your highlight down there? Like, you know, I mean, there's a million highlights, I'm sure, but was there a particular day or event or something? There's got to be something that stands out.
Friday the 22nd. It was my godson's wedding.
Oh, cool.
So that's
you
why I
went to
went there
wedding.
originally.
Oh, that was for
yeah.
the
He
boda.
called me up
Okay.
and he said, "I want you to be here." So I said, "I'll be there."
Right on. How many people were at the wedding?
It was fairly intimate. It was probably about 60 people.
Oh, so it was chill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was
Gosh,
chill.
when I'm in San Juan Nuevo, dude, I swear it's like everything is just a massive deal.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah,
It's like,
for sure.
oh, there's 1,000 people here. Oh, there's
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's how we do it. Man.
I like the small intimate
yeah.
weddings too. Then you could actually hang out, talk a little more, and you know,
Indeed.
it makes it a little more intimate.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. And then, when's the last time you went to Michoacan?
Actually to my town was 2018 was the last time we had gone to visit Morelia, and then I ended up taking a trip to my hometown, which is about a 5.5 hour bus ride from Morelia.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I hadn't seen them for about 8 years, and I was ready. It was time.
Yeah.
I missed because we grew up going back.
Do you own a house down there?
No.
You ever thought about buying something?
Oh yeah,
down there?
definitely. Yeah.
I know the prices have been like going up, and
Yeah, you know, fortunately for us, I mean, where we live, I guess it's a good and bad. I mean,
you can find something reasonable.
Yeah, because there's
A lot of ranchos.
cartel activity, so a lot of people to kind of vacate, you know, so there's a lot of vacancy
Gotcha.
from that. So,
Okay.
But I mean, we've traveled there. My dad goes down every year, and the family that goes back and forth. And honestly, if you do you and don't get involved with any of them, we've never really had any issues. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
You know.
Did it rain the whole time?
It rained. It would storm. It was hot, humid, a lot of mosquitoes. They ate me alive, but you know what? It's worth it. I'll
they like
deal
the
with it.
brown skin, huh?
Dude, the fresh meat, man. I showed up. My nephews and cousins would be right next to me. No bug
Really?
bites. My legs were lit up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Must be the Mexican American food that we have
They
here.
wanted them carbohydrates. That's what they wanted. And preservatives.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm glad you had a good time. That's cool.
Dude, it was awesome.
Yeah. I love Michoacan. It's you know, I'm glad I finally made it there because it is different. The customs are different, and it depends on where you go. Like you were telling me, Tierra Caliente. That's okay. So that's how many? Just give me an idea of like how many towns or pueblos, whatever you want to call them, are within that area.
It's a broad area just because it spans from the lower kind of southwest area of Michoacan, and it travels into Guerrero.
Okay.
So there's a part of Guerrero that they also call Tierra
God,
Caliente.
so you're going that way.
Yeah,
I
it's just
got
like
you.
a
You're going
region
south right
of just
there.
like a band of heat that goes right through there.
Got
and we're
it.
kind of like I said, it's like a subtropical desert area.
What's the hottest it gets?
Dude, I'm guessing it's probably 110.
Oh, so it could be like Paso.
Yeah.
But more humid because you got the
Well,
rain and
humid in the rainy season, but when
rainy
it's
season,
off season, when it's not the rainy season, it's dry. It's a dry
Just
heat,
dry.
pretty much like Paso.
And does everything dry up? All the
For the most part, but we live by a river,
Uh-huh.
so we have the water systems, and we have a big reservoir.
Okay.
Just maybe a few miles away.
So it keeps
So
everything
it's very
fed.
volcanic ground. So
Oh,
the
okay.
pressure of that man-made reservoir actually pushes a lot of the water through the ground rock, and
Uh-huh.
it naturally occurs like little springs everywhere. So that maintains a lot of the vegetation green. We have a lot of tropical fruit. They grow papayas. They grow a lot of citrus. There's guavas. There's all kinds of exotic, wild fruits that nobody really eats. Their nose. But I'm sure a lot of your viewers would know like carcalanes. There's nanches. There's changungas. There's a plethora of different fruits that.
Damn, you know them all, bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mamey and chicos and all kinds of stuff. So.
What is that area known for food wise? I mean, is it carnitas?
No, not for the most part. The diet that is most known for in the Tierra Caliente area where we're from is one of the main staple dishes is morisqueta.
I've heard of that, but what is that?
It's a white rice dish. Okay. So you basically like steamed white rice. You make frijoles caldudos, which are just like fresh, like boiled beans.
Okay.
And you mash them down with a little bit more of the broth, and they kind of are a little bit more of a watery consistency. Yeah. You pour that over the rice, and then you cook down some pork in a red sauce, and then you pour that over the top, and then you garnish it with some sour cream and some cotija cheese or just dried rancho cheese.
Amazing.
Oh, it's bomb.
God, I tried. Is it arroz blanca or blanco?
Arroz blanco, like white rice.
And they put the little carrots and the peas and a little bit of crema in there. Maybe a little bit of cream cheese. I don't remember what was in there exactly.
It's probably jocoque, which is like a thick sour cream. It's like a Mexican sour cream.
Bro, and then they made fresh birria with it, dude. Oh my God, I was over at Hector's when they made that, and I'm like, I can't believe I've never tried this before. Yeah. That rice was incredible.
It is.
So I can only imagine that sounds delicious.
It's delicious. And then there's, of course, the enchiladas michoacanas, which is our version of enchiladas, which I've seen in some of your videos where they make them, in that dip.
Yeah, and then get them in the oil and pull them up when they're done.
Pull them up, and you fry the chicken, and then you add everything, the condiments, and the chicken's on the side, and you kind of you get all the textures and the flavors of the different salsas and stuff.
Gotcha. So. Did you eat at home all the time down there, or did you go around to some taquerias?
Yeah. We did a little bit of both. I mean, my comadre where I stayed, she's awesome, and she's an awesome cook. So every time we would come back from milking the cows from La Ordeña, we'd come back. I'd get up early, we'd go. Oh, yeah. We'd have our paloma, so we'd make our little 96 proof alcohol, some crushed chocolate, coffee.
Oh, so you got, I haven't done that yet, bro. Dude. I want to do that.
Every day. Yeah. Breakfast of Champions.
You need to take me somewhere.
Oh, definitely.
And I want to do that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
A couple spots I know down south, so we'll go.
So, like, is it a whiskey?
No, it's just 96 proof.
It's
alcohol.
It's like a little moonshine, like a lighter moonshine. Squirt the milk in there, and it's up to you if you want to have chocolate and whatever.
We had the crushed Mexican chocolate with some coffee, and then a nice dose of the straight.
And that's called a pajarete.
A pajarete or palomos, they call them. So it depends on where you're at, but pajaretes. And then another version is you'll put the alcohol in with the chocolate and the coffee, and then you light it on fire.
I've seen
and
that.
And toast it. It gives it a more like a cappuccino-ish flavor.
Is that on Sundays traditionally, or do you do it anytime?
They milk every day, so every day is.
So is it mainly though when you're like hungover? Like that's when everyone kind of wants to go in the morning and do. I feel like it's always a Saturday when people are doing this, or a Sunday when, hey, we had a wedding, let's have the freaking party.
It might be mostly like if people that aren't from there that are visiting for something, like you're going to visit your family and you live in the States, so you mostly kind of, because here we're so kind of imprinted to kind of enjoy the weekends. In Mexico, you enjoy every day.
Every day is the weekend.
You get
At
off
least
of
all
work,
the places I've been.
dude. You get off of work. And somebody else call you and say, hey, we're going to get together at so-and-so's house. We're going to do some fried fish. Yeah. And then the next day, hey, we're going to go somewhere. We're going to make some carnitas.
Dude, that is what I love about your guys' community, bro. You guys are always doing something. Even here. Even in Paso, wherever you're at. I'm sure in Cambria, too. Oh, yeah. It's just constantly going, Yeah. Usually, like, in my culture, it's kind of like, well, I got something in 2 weeks, and there might be something happening this Saturday. But like with you guys, it's like, man, you keep me busy, dude. It's like today, I was gonna have football at the house, and I'm like, hey, Hector and a couple of guys, come on over for the opening game. I'll get some pizza or something. And I was in Dollar General, and I see Juanito's Queenie's wife, Alma, and her friends, and one of her friends is from Mexico right now, or visiting. and she's invited me to go eat enchiladas, and I'm like, oh man, but I'm like, football, pizza, or freaking enchiladas, and I know they're gonna have the game over there anyway, so like, that's where I'm going after this. So it keeps going.
It's always transitioning, and it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to turn something into a party, you know, or a get together. You know
exactly. What I mean? Then the freaking little dude comes by with the paletera guy comes by honking. He's like, he invites him over, and next thing you know, everyone's over. Hey, so I know we're in Michoacan right now. Let's come back to Cambria.
Yeah.
How do you think the Mexican culture has evolved or changed from back then until now? Would you have a way to explain that? I mean, do you see a difference?
Oh, definitely.
What is the difference?
A lot of the restaurants are owned by the Mexicans that started working there.
Got it. So they're working there. They're kicking ass. They're freaking saving their dough.
Yeah, they've been there.
And in their mind, the whole freaking time, it's, hey, I'm going to own this bitch one day.
Yeah.
So they're owners now.
Yeah, you know, and you become family with the owners. You know, it was all mom and pop shops. You know, so they
I really wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah, they see him as they raised them basically, because a lot of these guys, you know, showed up at 13, 14 years old. I have a brother-in-law and his brother. They came when they were 13 and 14 years old with nobody else. Yeah. Literally, they had family here, but they left their town when they were 13 and 14 years old by themselves and came across.
Wow. That's incredible,
and got here and started working.
Those are some stories I'd like to hear. We should get, I mean, even if they don't speak freaking English.
Oh, yeah, they do. They've been here for a while,
yeah, you could be the interpreter if they didn't, but that we should get a couple of them on the show. I'd love to interview some of those guys. Or not interview, just chat. You know, see their story.
Yeah, so I mean, it's all evolved where, like I said, it's been like a family tradition. You know, the owners saw these people as responsible, you know, caring. You know, they were looking out for the business. Yeah. You know, and they brought in their kids or their siblings. So these families are generational that have worked in these establishments, in the hotels. You know, same thing. I know one gentleman that's from our area of Mexico. He's the owner of the San Simon Beach Bar and Grill and part owner of the hotel now. I mean, and he started working there when he was like 13 as a busser. How cool. You know, and now he owns the restaurant. Not only that, he owns multiple restaurants in Cambria. That's awesome. And he's done very well for himself. Oh, beautiful spot. Yeah, definitely. I
actually just went to freaking, Big Sur was closed.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, don't judge me, but you know, I moved up here in 96. I've been here for 30 something years or 30 years. Look, it's the first time I ever went north of Ragged Point on Labor Day. Okay. Had a friend take me, and just one morning she called me and she's like, hey, you want to go up to, you know, Big Sur? Because I know you've never been there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing anything. Let's go. Dude, I'm an idiot, bro.
It's breathtaking.
It was unbelievable. And I didn't even get to go even further up. Yeah. But just the little area we went to, I'm like, what a knuckle. You know, Cambria, from Cambria all the way up kind of reminds me all of that area. You know, pretty much. Yeah. Cambria is gorgeous.
It is. But then you get up into those cliffs and the views, and just, it's not populated. You don't run into people.
Nobody. There was crazy dudes going down on their freaking skateboards, and these guys on their bikes. You know, I used to ride a 12-speed when I was a kid, but like these guys are hauling, dude, straight down. And I'm like, bro, what if your freaking tire blows, dude? Like, you got the steepest cliff on the right side going down. It was amazing. And then I got to go to the it's where the kilns are.
Lime kiln. Kiln. That bridge right there.
Dude, that was dope. Yeah, you kick it right. Beautiful. That walk. If you guys have never been there, it's Lime Kiln.
Lime Kiln, yeah. There's a campground right there.
Oh my gosh. Like, even if you don't camp and you're up there, just walk the little pathway they have. I mean, it's very, I was thinking, because my daughter's handicapped, but she can walk. So, but I think it would be an easy trail for her. So even if, you know, you got some mobility issues or whatever, check it out. Because I know she could make it through over the bridge and kind of go up. And then you see these really bitchin' old kilns where what would they fire? What were they doing? Limestone?
It was lime, like lye. That's what they're building. Yeah. That's what they would mine it up there. Okay. So they had these big smokestacks where they would process this stuff, and that's where there was the remnants of that. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that, but there's a bitchin' freaking stream that runs all the way through it. I mean, it's like it's picturesque. It's like you're in a movie. It's pretty badass.
Indeed, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Okay, so now let's come south of Big Sur now. Now we're on Hurst Ranch. I got to do a couple things at Hurst Ranch. I not on Hurst Ranch, but I went up and I worked at Hurst Castle.
Okay.
And I did some phone and data work up there and kind of saw some of the changes. Them building the big old theater, the IMAX theater, I believe, and it kind of got real touristy. And then they were serving food, and they had obviously buses.
Yeah, they have the whole visitor center.
So now, when you're on Hurst Ranch, you guys are on a homestead and you're taking care of some of the Hurst Ranch?
Yeah, my dad worked for the Hurst family, so for the cattle ranch.
For the cattle ranch,
yeah,
okay.
The Hurst family basically donated the castle to the state right after William Randolph Hearst's death, and they basically allowed the state to use it kind of like a tourist attraction.
Right,
and,
okay.
Then that way the state maintains the property and everything. And they built the visitor center down at the bottom. But my dad worked for the Hurst Ranch, which is the cattle ranch right next door. And that ranch extends all the way to Cholam. Okay. There's a couple breaks in between, but they owned hundreds of thousands of acres at one time. Wow. Most of the coast of California.
Most of the coast of California, huh?
Yeah, it's from like south of San Francisco all the way down to like Simi Valley area.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little about your parents.
Well, there's my dad's 79, my mom's 75.
Still living.
I have them both.
Congratulations, brother. That's awesome.
And
good for you.
My dad's had a kidney transplant for about 23 years, and he's he came here for the first time in 1976, awesome. And brought my mom and my siblings over in 1980. Wow. And I was born in January 2nd, 1981, right at the turn of the year.
So, oh, you youngster.
Yeah.
Shit, I was rocking out in the 80s, bro.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, they came. I don't even know how they did it.
And they came straight to Cambria?
My dad had come first and worked in L.A. for a couple years, and my mom was down in Mexico. And then he had a compadre that had somehow managed to get a job up here at the ranch. And they needed some more guys, so he ended up calling my dad and offered him a job. He said, "Hey, compadre, there's a job up here." And my dad, in
the most beautiful area in frickin' the United States,
exactly.
pretty much.
And then my dad was like, would they allow me to bring my family? Because down in LA, they were really strict about how many kids you could have in a household, like if you were renting.
Yeah.
And my dad had 6. So he said, "Hey, would they allow me to bring my family?" He's like, "Well, let me ask." And he asked, and they're like, "Yeah, we own the houses. I mean, we don't care how many kids you have." So that was the reason my dad agreed to have the job. And
awesome.
He came up, worked for a few years, and realized that it was a good place to work.
And I'm assuming you loved your upbringing in that area. Man. I mean, because he took me fishing. He took me and my son Taj fishing somewhere, between like Cambria and Ragged Point, and we pulled over, walked down, hiked down a deal. I mean, he hooked us all up. Like, he was baiting our hooks and tying everything, and we ended up catching 10 fish.
Yeah, about 10. Yeah,
it was amazing
in a couple hours.
And you got to grow up that way.
Every day.
Whenever you want to go fishing, go. There was no fishing license back then, was there?
There was, but I was young, so I was under 16 for the most part. So I would we just grab my gear.
Did you ever abalone dive?
We would harvest some abalone off of the point there, and then
so there was quite a bit back then.
Oh yeah. But then it got out of hand. A lot of people would come from the valley and stuff, and it was shut down.
I did get the opportunity to go up to Albion River, like Fort Bragg area, and might be a little south of that, and do some abalone diving with my ex's cousins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, I want to go again, but you can't. It's like shut down.
It's shut down.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, actually, so we go out of Albion Mouth River. It's all turquoise, and we're in this little ponga boat, and Billy's taking us out. Next thing you know, 3 of us jump in. I'm like, fuck, I forgot my weights.
To get down.
Dude, they're like, they're looking at me like, you freaking novice idiot, or beginner, whatever. They go back, and I'm bobbing in the water, dude. I'm already afraid of sharks. My dad took me to see Jaws when I was 5, and ever since then, forget it. And so I'm bobbing in the water. I got my mask on and I see these guys diving, but they're getting far away from me. And next thing you know, I'm like peeking underwater looking because you could see pretty far. It was pretty clear up there. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I got rocks over here, 40 feet away from me, but I'm sitting there just bobbing going, oh, hurry up. And then all of a sudden, it was like half hour later, here they come with my weights. And so I actually got to dive and get some. That was cool.
Yeah,
so
I bet
that's
it
a
was.
blessing to be able to pop them open right there. We were pounding them out, dude. We even got like ruffled potato chips and pounded all that down. And we put that crust around it and just fried them up right there, dude.
In butter. Oh, yeah.
That was amazing.
It was.
Abalone tacos. I don't know. I must have ate friggin' 20 of those bad boys.
Yeah.
And what would that cost you in a restaurant, Freaking abalone tacos. That's gold right
Probably
there.
$40 a taco, at least.
Yeah. Rare stuff.
Definitely.
That's cool.
Yeah, we'd make abalone ceviche.
And I never even thought of that. Abalone
pound them out,
ceviche.
tenderize them, and then cook them in lime juice and that all.
Hardest thing was to open those bad boys, man. I about freaking cut my fingers off trying to figure out how to do that.
A certain way to get the whole animal out.
Even prying them off.
Oh, prying them off, you got to sneak up on them and just jab it in and pry them. Because if they feel any motion,
one tiny touch, they're all, don't even bother, dude. You ain't getting them off. I figured that out the hard way.
Yep.
But in the decompressing my nose going down, it wasn't that deep. I'm going to say maybe 15 feet, maybe 20 at the most.
Deep enough, though.
I would go down and probably within 8-10 feet, I'm already feeling my ears. So I had to do it was easy. I got used to it, decompress or whatever you call that. And then made it down. And by the time, at first I couldn't see any abalone. And as soon as I saw one, oh my God, they all appeared.
They just
it's the weirdest thing. Now I see them all because I couldn't see them in the beginning. And then I popped it off, my first one. And then by the time I made it, or I think the first one I screwed up and I touched them and I couldn't get them off and I swam up really fast. I'm like, dude, I could barely hold my breath, bro. These guys were good. They would go down and they could do their thing and come up, and me, forget it. I'm down. I hit that thing and I'm back up. Put up my little basket, little tire. So, dude, that was fun.
I bet.
I wish, if we ever could go abalone diving, that would be cool. We should go.
Yeah, we'll try to figure it out.
Because you only need a mask and weights and freaking fins. That's it.
Yeah. I don't know what the season's up north if they do it. I know it's for red abalone. And,
okay.
Down here we have black abalone, I believe, or blue abalone.
I heard it's been closed down for a while.
It's been
I think
for
I got lucky
time.
and just hit that last season, before they shut it down.
Yeah.
So you're on the ranch. And you're growing up, and we have Hurst Castle.
Yep.
So I have a question for you. What's the cheese man Hurst Castle? I've heard a lot. Do you know anything? I mean, or do you not want to talk about it? That's fine. But I heard there was some crazy shit that went on up there because all the movie stars were going up there, and they're on their Model Ts going up on the original Highway 1. And I mean, when you're talking Hollywood, you're talking, money and wild shit going on.
Cameras, the first cameras around.
Cameras?
Yeah, because William Randolph Hearst was into production. He had plays in New York.
So he's filming shit?
Yeah,
okay.
So he had,
Did your dad ever meet him?
No, because he passed. We knew the William Randolph Hearst, or George Hearst III, and so he was a grandson of William Randolph Hearst.
Okay.
And then Steve Hearst is the active,
gotcha.
A member of the family that runs the business, runs the ranch.
I did some work for the one lady over here, Circle 6 Ranch.
Okay, yeah.
That was a trip, dude.
Yeah.
Went to her house, man. She had a couple lawyers next to her the whole time. She had a robe on with binoculars because I think her cousin or sister got kidnapped, right?
Yeah, back in the 70s.
Yeah, Patty Hearst, is
Patty
that who that
Hearst,
was?
yeah.
Yeah, that was a trip. We were doing some phone work out there and stuff, and I was just tripping, dude, going, whoa, man, this lady's loaded, dude.
Oh, they have a lot of money.
Billions, right?
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
billions, for sure.
She's got her little blue robe, their binoculars with two lawyers cruising around, and everyone's just working. We're all doing something at her house. It's pretty cool. It was actually neat. I think she passed away, actually.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. She was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you're on the ranch, you're growing up, and now all of a sudden you're getting what? You went to Paso High?
I went to the Cambria school system through kindergarten all the way through 10th grade.
Okay.
So when we ended up moving, because my dad got sick from his kidney disease, he could no longer work. He got medically disabled. So we ended up moving out of the ranch in 95.
Gotcha.
And I was finishing up I finished up my sophomore year at Coast Union, and I transferred.
Okay. Did you play football?
No, I didn't.
Because I heard your football team sucks in Cambria.
Yeah, no, it's actually gotten pretty good.
I don't know. That's just what I heard back when my son was playing.
Yeah.
In the day.
But
it's Cambria, easy win.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's been the big rivalry.
Probably because you don't have a lot to choose from, right?
I mean, it's like
30 kids up there.
Yeah, the football players or the basketball players or the volleyball players or the soccer players or the tennis players. Yeah, it's everything. So
that's cool.
And they probably hold 2 jobs at the same time right after school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, if I lost in Paso, I'd say, well, I give a rip, man. I'm going back to the freaking ocean. I'm going to go fishing.
Yeah.
You guys are in 115-degree weather in Paso.
Yeah, it's funny to see them when they cruise over from Cambria. They come in with their sweaters and jackets, and they get here and they're bring 2 sets of clothes because they got to be, dressed for summer and winter, basically.
That is one thing a lot of tourists don't realize is the climate difference within 30 miles.
Yeah.
Because it could be 65 in probably not Avila Beach, but let's just say Morro Bay. And you come over that grade or you come through that canyon, put your hand out the door, and within 15 minutes, it could be 100 degrees.
Oh, easy.
It's insane.
Exactly.
So then you're going to Paso High now after your sophomore year.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I started my junior year.
But you're not living in Paso yet.
We are.
Oh, you are living in Paso. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. We had moved. We had moved to Paso around 94-ish and a half, 95, and I was driving back and forth to finish that last year.
Gotcha.
And then I started over here.
Got it. And now, what was the Mexican culture like between Cambria and Paso?
It was
just chicks everywhere, Latinas everywhere.
Yeah, and it was a lot different to me, because I came from a school system.
I know this guy had all kinds of girls guaranteed.
Yeah, right.
Frickin' Renee.
No,
call her right now.
Yeah, now it's making me blush.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
But
we don't talk about it anymore.
It was a big change because growing up there, we all knew each other and we were all from the same families pretty much. And then coming here, I went from a whole school district that had about 500 kids in the whole school district in Cambria.
Wow.
To just the high school here was over 2,000 students when I transferred to the high school.
Wow.
So to me, it was like, whoa.
But you're super outgoing, so I'm assuming you blended right in right away, right?
I wasn't as outgoing, I think, as I was a little bit more reserved until I knew people. And coming here, I was just kind of shy I was intimidated by the amount of students. And they were all from different places. I had friends that were from Sinaloa, from Durango, from San Juan.
Gotcha, because they're moving up and coming in. And gotcha.
And the vibe was a little different because here there was a lot of groups of kids, especially the high school was divided a lot. There was this group that hung out here, this group hung out here, this group hung out here.
Cambria, you guys just all kind of hung out?
Yeah, because we were so small.
Yeah.
It was a lot of...
Now, was there Cholos back then? And not in Cambria, but in Paso?
Yeah, for sure. When we moved here, it was.
Was there some sophisticated gangs back then or not really?
The ones that are kind of, held on through the years now, you heard Paso 13 and just like stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And I tried not to...
Yeah, were you ever a Cholo?
Well, I mean, I kind of dressed like it and I hung out with a group of guys.
Okay.
But I never really joined or, did any of that kind of stuff.
Well, it's funny because the reason why I asked is because I saw some pictures in San Juan Nuevo of Queenie, Juan, and Choreado. It wasn't Choreado, but Choreado was showing the pictures of Queenie and like maybe 5 other guys. A couple of them I know. And they were all dressed like gangsters in Cambria. So they were probably living over there. I think they were living in Cambria. But they had like their shorts and the whole deal, like kind of chilling out. Straight from Mexico. And so it kind of tripped me out. I was like, I was thinking like the Cholo, the Chicano culture, whatever, only is from California. And kind of, if you're born, if you're American Mexican or whatever it would be, born and raised in California, Mexicano, Chicano culture, you're going to adapt to that or dress that way or be involved in that. Yeah. But coming straight from Mexico, I didn't realize that they wanted to be gangsters or be cholos and cholas.
I think what it was is maybe a few of the older OG guys that had been here and had traveled back and forth to San Juan. And you'll see it a lot in like Zamora and Jacona and those municipalities as well in towns where they've adopted a lot of that kind of Cholo look, and they'll dress the part. As where I'm from, it tends to be more towards the ranch life, and you wearing your sombrero and your botas, and it's it's a lot of it's focused.
Was it because, do you think kiddos that were coming straight from freaking Mexico and adapting to that culture or dressing that way, was it they were trying to fit in, or was it just like the cool thing to do?
I think it's more like the cool thing to do. They saw like the people that were coming back and forth, traveling back and forth from Mexico to the United States. They come on vacation and they dress that way. So they kind of adapted that look to kind of blend in with the style that was around them the most, and that's kind of what they stuck with.
Gotcha.
Because I've known a lot of guys that are from San Juan for many years since I was in high school, and it looked like some of the pictures that I've seen from their families, they dressed that way in Mexico already before they came here.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
It was a trip to see that picture. It was actually San Simeon, now that I think of it, and they were just along the beach, and there was like 8 of them. Like,
a day at the beach.
You used to dress like this, bro? Like, you were considered a Cholo back then. Like, that's crazy, Juan. What a trip. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. So you're in Paso, and the vibe, the culture obviously is different for you now. How did you dress back then? Were you wearing cowboy boots and stuff like that?
If I went to
just curious.
If I went to quinceañeras and all that, I would wear my boots. Because the culture where we're from is heavily inspired by drug dealing and cartel. To be honest, so you try to dress to the T. You got your crema de seda shirt, you got your exotic boots on, you got your sombrero and everything. So that's how I would dress to go out to like parties, like quinceañeras and whatnot. But on an everyday basis, I would dress a little more, you could say kind of Cholo, but a little bit more, I try to dress more sophisticated, I guess. Like my shirt was always tucked in. I always made sure my clothes were ironed. I wore all my gold jewelry and just dressed nice, smelled nice. And I worked since I was 14 years old, so I held 2 jobs through high school and just tried to always have money in my pocket, and that way I could
awesome. And then high school ends, you get married, you stay in Paso.
Yeah.
Didn't want to go back to Cambria for whatever reason.
Yeah, I just stayed here.
Love Paso.
Yeah, Paso was the place. And, I met my wife in Santa Maria, and then we lived there for a few years, and then moved back to Paso in 2003. And then purchased my first house then, and then it's been here ever since.
Gotcha.
So,
awesome. Yeah. Do you think, let's just say you're 75, do you think you would ever want to move to Mexico?
Oh, yeah. I want to move there tomorrow.
So it's not just me.
No.
Right on. Man. God, isn't the vibe just amazing down there?
It's beautiful.
It's like when I go down there, and you probably same deal, once you're there, it's like, you don't think about the past. You don't think about the future. Like, you're just there in the moment, and you're like living all the time, constantly living.
Exactly. Because nobody's on a really set schedule. You know what I mean? Here, we're so hyper focused on schedule,
big routine,
what you're doing, and the routine never changes. You know what I mean? And you already have your kind of week planned out, what you got to do, who you got to talk to, who you got to see.
Yeah. And when you're done and you're home, it's usually like, hey, in the house, getting dinner cooked. Like, when you're there, it's like freaking music cranking at 4 or 5 o'clock. Yeah. People are out walking around,
and you get invited
drinking.
to go hang out. So and so's family, they're making this. You guys want to come over? And it always turns into a gathering of some sort. It doesn't have to be big, but it's just the flow and the vibe is just, the love is just there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have the older generation they'll come over and have coffee. Or the panadero drives by and you go, oh, let's get some pan, and then you get pan, and then before you know, you're making a big old olla of hot chocolate, and then everybody's sitting around, the kids are around, and you just conversate, you just chill, and here I think that's what we lack a lot of times, because everybody's kind of in their own thing.
Yeah.
And fortunately for us, in our little village, we don't have great cell service. So pretty much if you're not on Wi-Fi, there's no cell service for the most part. So you get to disconnect even from that. You know what I mean?
That is pretty cool when you're in the rancho and stuff like that. Yeah. It's pretty neat.
You don't listen to the news. You don't hear anything negative, basically.
It's like being back in the 80s for me,
When they can't track you down.
Yeah.
And you're just, I'll be back at 3:30.
Yeah.
That nobody's going to get a hold of you till you're there at 3:30. You know what I mean?
It's like there's never an agenda unless you're going to a wedding, you got to get somewhere. But even like getting there, and when there's never an agenda.
And
Like something can change.
yeah.
Just next thing you know, you walk across the street, you're at the liquor store getting a beer, but then you run into a guy, and next thing you know, you're hanging out there. The boda's going on over here across the street, but now you're hanging out with these guys for a couple minutes. Just the next thing you know, you're taking a couple shots of tequila, and then you're finally
and that
back
turns
at
out
the
to maybe
wedding.
an hour and a half, and then you cruise by, you're already buzzing.
Oh, man.
I know
Like
exactly how that goes.
famous Irish goodbyes.
Yeah.
I know we're probably running out of time. Let's see a couple things. So, and we got to probably make these fast because I got a few questions for you.
Sure.
What's your favorite food?
Well, of course, the dishes that are from Tierra Caliente,
For sure.
morisqueta, corundas,
Second
enchiladas. I'd probably say I'm big on American style steaks. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you were raised on the ranch,
Yeah,
man.
my kids are all about steaks, man.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, what's the best steak that you've had in Central Coast?
Probably one that I've cooked.
Of course.
A nice cut of ribeye or a prime rib that I'll make for them in the oven.
Someone was saying that the ranch or whatever there in Santa Margarita, I think it's called the ranch or something like that. They got some bomb freaking elk medallions there and a pretty good ribeye. Best ribeye I've ever had in the area, and it's fun. It was at a French restaurant, Bistro Laurent.
Bistro Laurent,
I think they call it a different name now, but dude, a ribeye medium rare with this black peppercorn sauce they pour over it, bro.
Yeah. Well, that
was incredible.
Another one is I worked at McPhee's Grill because I grew up with a family in Cambria.
Is that the?
And they had a ribeye.
Oh, ribeye. Okay.
Yeah, it was ribeye oak grilled with the 3 salsas, and it had a salsa fresca, had like a green tomatillo salsa.
I like salsa on my steak too.
Yeah,
bro.
and then some avocado salsa, and then they did this jalapeno potato cheesecake, like a patty that they would put on the griddle. It had manchego cheese in it and chopped jalapenos with the garlic mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And they put that with some fresh veggies.
Oh, man, that sounds good. Someone was telling me, that's why I was jumping in and trying to figure out the other steak, the filet mignon that they have.
Yeah, with a Cabernet olive sauce.
Yeah, people were saying that's their favorite.
I've
never tried it, but
it's
I
phenomenal.
should go there.
Yeah.
I haven't been over. I know they got that big sign that says Steakhouse at Paso Inn.
Yeah, the Paso Inn.
Big old sign. So I've never been in there to try
they have
their
great
steak.
steaks as well.
We should go on a little steak freaking do a month or every weekend we go out and grab a steak and we'll document it or something.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah, I'm down.
Your favorite album? That's a tough one, I know. I didn't say song because that's impossible, but I was thinking okay, Mexican culture, Mexican music. Yeah. Let's narrow it down. Favorite album?
There's too many. I'm a huge Chalino Sanchez fan.
Okay. We'll just leave it at
that. Just those are the ones I grew up.
Choice.
And going back to the times of my dad. My dad, the music that he used to listen to is what I grew up listening to. Was Cornelio Reina, Los Hermanos Aizar, Antonio Aguilar, just a lot of the good older, 70s and 60s Mexican.
Dude, we're lucky, bro, that we were young in those days because we got to hear some bomb music.
Yeah. And we've been able to see the whole culture evolve in every aspect. You know what I mean?
Now, do your kids listen? Do you turn your kids on to some of that music?
Yeah,
and that's cool. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, there's always one that kind of follows my footsteps. I have my 17-year-old son Diego. He listens to all the stuff kind of that I listen to. And my other kids are kind of a plethora of different cultures and whatnot.
They'll go back to that. If you played it in the house, growing up, as they get 20, 21, 20, and that age, they're going to all of a sudden want to hear that again.
For sure.
Happened to me. It's happening to my kids.
Yeah.
It's great to see Chance. He's listening to Dan Fogelberg and Jim Croce and just all this old stuff that, most people are, and even my age, are like, what the hell?
Yeah, what is that?
Bro, you're missing out, man.
Yeah.
Would you like to, or who would you like to play you in a movie?
Shoot, I don't know, man. I don't know who I strike a resemblance to. I'm I don't know.
That's a tough one,
It is a tough one because I don't see anybody in the movies that looks like me, kind of. I guess with no hair and the color, complexion, probably a mini rock.
I like that, bro. That's dope, dude. All right. Well, fuck, you're pretty fit, bro. You are a mini rock. I like that. That's awesome. Favorite fish to eat? Because I know you love to fish.
Dude.
Like if you were going to cook up a fish, what's your favorite fish?
Maybe just because I grew up here and the fish that we were always had access to was like cabezon, and we caught a few.
That's cod, right? Basically, or not necessarily.
It's a ground fish. It's in the like sculpin family.
So it's white.
So yeah, it's a white.
The meat is white.
Remember we caught those ones that had the blue flesh.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's blue, but when you cook it, it turns white.
Okay, gotcha.
And it has that nice firm consistency and big white flakes.
So cabezon.
Cabezon
That makes sense.
is one of the best. Yeah.
Can you do ceviche with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, definitely.
You do ceviche with anything, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I tried shark ceviche down at Pismo Beach. That was freaking good.
It is good.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Are you into sports?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never played or anything.
And I played soccer just as young, but we lived in the middle of nowhere, and access to get to and from was hard. So I kind of just played a couple of years of like just youth soccer over there. But my kids have all played soccer. They've all played traveling soccer and club, and they've been raised in soccer and have become quite good in it. Yeah.
I think I'm going to a Chivas game Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
Or not this Wednesday, but the next Wednesday in Jalisco.
In Jalisco.
Yeah.
Nice, at the Omni Stadium.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
I think that's the one, yeah.
So Choriado invited me. So
nice.
Him and Frank and some other guys, and then I invited Luis. So the people I'm going to Jalisco with, Luis and his wife, I said, hey, Luis, you want to go? So I'm waiting for him to let me know. So we might have a cool group of guys. I've never been to a professional soccer game before, especially in Mexico.
Yeah.
And the Chivas,
Definitely.
So is there a question that you wish I would have asked you? And if so, what?
That's a good question. Probably that one. I just don't know. I mean,
we touched.
It's hard. There's just so much, man. I mean, this area. I don't think people appreciate the beauty that we have here.
That live here.
A lot of them don't. And I've heard stories and I've met people from the valley that have never been to the ocean, and they're only two hours away.
That's
from
crazy.
Bakersfield, and it breaks my heart because the ocean's a magical place, man. I've grown up there. I visit it every chance I get. I get to drive it almost every day, and there's just something about it that just draws people. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And to see that there's kids that have never seen it, that breaks my heart sometimes, because I'm a big kid.
Yeah,
person, man.
I can tell kids. You're an amazing dad, dude. You're just a great freaking human all around. As soon as I met you, I'm like, this freaking guy, like I could hang out with you all day long, and you love to talk too. And this guy is super freaking smart. He knows a lot. We didn't even touch on history, but he knows a lot of the history in this area. That would be another great podcast to talk about the history. But every time I have a question, frickin' Renee's got the answer. And I love it because it's like, I'm having one of those days where I don't want to talk too much. I'm like, hey, Renee, XYZ. And I'm like, oh, cool. I can start doing this. And he just starts chatting.
Yeah. We get into a huge dialogue of text messages back and forth. And, it
was cool. You inviting my son to go fishing and you had definitely. Your kids fishing. That's
that awesome. To me, that's the best thing, pops. Man. I love to provide and teach and spread my knowledge, what I've acquired, because I had my godfather Martin Ochoa from Cambria that was a family friend, and he would come fishing and park his truck at our house just so it'd be safe when he would be out on the point. And as I grew up watching him go out, I had the curiosity to ask him if he would take me when I was about 7 years old.
Was that the guy that came out that I met and he was fishing? Correct. That was cool.
Yeah. So then he said, yeah, I'll take it. So he taught me what I knew, and he took the time to take me out. And I've always been very appreciative of that, because that just gave me a whole lifetime of memories.
Of fishing, too.
Fishing, and me be able to pass it on to my kids.
In theory, you might have never fished if he didn't hook you up with that. Maybe someone turned you on to freaking, tennis, and then you're a tennis player. I can see The Rock out there playing tennis.
Right but wow. It was cool. I appreciated everything he did for me, and just every chance I get to take kids out and teach them how to fish, and it's those experiences that
You should make like a little. Maybe you already have do a thing where every 6 months you get some kids from the valley.
Yeah,
and they've never been to the ocean or
I've
something.
thought about that, and I would love to make a kind of a
come
group.
over and show them how to fish, and like
just going on a pier or just going to the beach and just teach them to have that experience.
Be cool.
And because a lot of these kids they lack that support. Sometimes they don't have it. Parents are at work all the time.
Sure.
And that's one of the big things in Cambria where, our generations and some of the newer generations have been, they get in trouble here and there, and there's not much to do, so your kids are drinking, they're doing, trying drugs and whatnot. It's a part of life. And but their parents are working all the time, so a lot of those kids don't have a lot of that structure at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because the parents are working 2-3 jobs just to survive in Cambria. I mean, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
So just for them to have 2 jobs probably pays for their rent and their bills, and the third job they have a little bit of extra cash to do something.
We need to get Liz in here and talk real estate, because I suck at real estate, but it's I feel so bad for the kiddos. Like my kids, how are you going to afford a house here? I mean, we just talked about this being the most beautiful place. I mean, this really is the most beautiful place.
It is.
Possibly in the United States, you know what I mean?
To be honest.
Because you were in California, so I mean, you got the weather. Now you got this gorgeous triangle area. My triangle's I go from Santa Maria to San Simeon all the way. Well, now that I live in San Miguel to San Miguel, of course,
that's pretty much it.
Hey, we got the riverbed we could still ride in. I mean, it's like Orange County back in the 60s, where there was orange groves and you could ride your ATC on the railroad tracks and all that. Can't do anything like that anymore.
No more.
So, but we still have this freedom that's slowly being stripped away little by little.
Little by little.
I got to take more advantage with my kids and get down in that riverbed and do cool shit like that for sure.
Because we do have a lot of money pouring in, and slowly the noose has been tightening. On Paso.
Dude, I'm tripping on the hotels.
Man.
There's that many people that come here.
For sure.
Holy cow, that's crazy.
And not to mention the Airbnbs, and the hotels,
I want to go check out the new Ava Hotel. Or Ava. I don't know how they Ava or Ava. Debbie Lorenz and her husband built. Oh, it's downtown. You haven't seen it? It's that new one, right?
One right there where the old Ace Hardware building used to be? Right across from by the movie theater kind of thing?
Back there. Across from the Pony Club, whatever hotel that is. Dude, I saw some video and some pictures online. That looks, we need to go to the rooftop there and have a drink.
For sure.
They look pretty dope.
And then they just opened the Cambrian or something in Templeton by the hospital. I guess it's really nice.
Okay,
I don't know what they cater to, what their kind of deal is.
And there's that huge one on the hill.
Yeah, this new one.
I don't know if it's true, but someone told me that's going to be the first true 5-star hotel in the area. I could be completely off my rock around this. And a 5-star dining experience or whatever. But
could be.
Yeah, I heard some stories.
It's huge though, that's for sure.
That is massive, dude. It's still not done.
It's still not done.
Wow. Okay, so then I guess the moral of this whole podcast is we're going to go eat some freaking killer steaks and do a whole steak freaking thing, and then we'll come back and we'll do a shorter podcast. Or within a podcast we'll talk about what was the best steak.
Yeah, and just maybe just supporting the local community.
Yeah.
A lot of our Hispanic or Mexican restaurant owners that that sometimes struggle with social media, and you have that base already that can promote them.
Yeah, we'll film a little video,
springboard them into
for sure,
because
that would be awesome.
It could be a split second that can change somebody's life, and that's big. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. So. And I'm down to try some steaks. Shout out to a guy named Toro, and he's the chef at Moonstone Bar and Grill. John, that I've done a bunch of work for forever, for 25, 30 years. I was there, and he's I have a video posted of him singing. He's got a damn voice.
Yeah. You know what the craziest thing is?
Was
He's
from Michoacan?
Yes. And
is he really?
And he rents out my house that I own in Cambria.
No way. Oh my God, I love that guy, dude. He made this little spice for me. He's like, you put this on anything you want, dude. Yeah. And he's right, bro. You can put that on fish, meat, whatever, and it freaking lasts me forever.
For sure.
But Toro, ¿qué onda, compa? Shout out to you, man.
Ahí estamos.
Right on. Well, I think we're probably out of time. So, hey, our first podcast, I hope you guys stayed through the whole thing. Hope you enjoyed it. In your comments, give me some ideas of what you want us to talk about, or some subjects that you want us to go over. I got some pretty freaking funny people I want to bring in here. And I got a few little ideas up my sleeve, but I knew for sure, Renee, you got to be the first guest. We talked about this a long time ago. You were born and raised here. You got ties to Michoacan. I mean, Hurst Ranch. I mean, your roots run really deep. You've seen it all. You went from Cambria and even that big building where there was 60 rooms with 60 families. You've seen the culture shift from, the 80s till now and in the high school and everything. So
Definitely.
Who better to have than you? And I wish I had a 2-hour session because I would love to.
It'd be awesome.
Keep going through it. But anyways, and then the giveaway, where did that sweater go?
Right.
So, hey, 50th comment is going to get, not Renee's sweater, I'll get you a different one. And you guys can choose whether you want to have the traditional Mexican bandera or the, is that what I say, bandera?
Yeah.
Yeah, or the serape or the Old English one. So, or a hat. If you'd rather a hat instead, you could have a hat. I brought my little plaque here. I was proud of this. This is 100,000 followers on friggin' YouTube. You know how hard that was to get?
I bet.
Dude, YouTube's tough. But
That's
it's
awesome.
a badass
Congratulations,
platform,
man.
dude.
Yeah.
Well, it's not me, dude. It's all you guys. And
Yeah.
I've always said that from the beginning because I'm just driving the wheel. Like, this whole entire thing is all driven by Mexicanos, Latinos, but mainly Mexicanos.
Yeah.
And so without that, I would just be freaking being a phone guy still.
Yeah, hey man, you have something special for sure.
Yeah,
and I
we'll
really
keep it
appreciate
going.
you inviting me and being the first
dude.
guest, man. I
First
know.
one. What if all of a sudden we had like 100 one day, and then it went to 2? You're gonna make a lot of money, bro. Right on. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And I just totally forgot. We had Modelo's here. We didn't even open them up, so I'm going to give you one now.
All right, for sure.
Hey, have you guys ever drank the frickin' Modelo Oro? It's my favorite.
I was drinking
These man boobs got to get. Oh, so.
And what else do you use? Your cell phone to open it up.
Dude, Mexicanos are creative, bro. The stuff I see you guys make and how dude, I should just do a video on how you open bottles alone.
What you use.
I've seen some crazy stuff, dude. Salud, compa.
Salud.
Right on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Gracias. Adios.